Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach. Just going through my morning routine, thinking about some things, and this is a topic today I wanted to share for the last week or so, maybe a little longer than that. But I had some other topics in mind I wanted to get through, but finally today I get to talk about this one topic that's been on my mind for a little over a week or so. And because of, my training yesterday, really brought it back to the forefront of, hey, let's talk about this topic of drilling the weak side. So anyways, hope you're up doing well, making some moves, making some things happen. But if you're not, your mind's not in the right place, let's get in the right place. So for all my jiu-jitsu people out there, you'll be able to relate to this topic. And if you don't do jiu-jitsu, you can still relate it to life in any aspect, because we all have weak sides to all of us in anything, right? Not just jiu-jitsu, but anything. But what I'm getting at is a couple weeks ago, I watched a match between Rafael Lovato. For those that know him, he's one of the best American grapplers in the world. Got a lot of respect for Lovato and his game and with all the things that he's accomplished. And he went up against, a more like new generation, hungry competitor, Hulk Barbosa. And I was really interested in the match because prior to that, I think it was the week before that, Lovato had another match. So he's just coming back, competing in the gi. He's been doing basically MMA. But he's a gi world champion. He's won a lot of titles. He's done a lot of great things in his gi career, but he's been chasing MMA for these last few years here. So he's just coming back into the gi. And so the match prior to this Hulk Barbosa match, he pretty much just dominated his opponent. It was just like, it's crazy how styles and things match up and whatever, and you can just make another high-level black belt just look basically like a white or blue belt. I'm just watching the screen and just like, man, this guy is just unbelievable, man. He's just slicing through this guy and just dominating him, and then he taps the guy, So anyways, this Hulk Barbosa guy is another high-level black belt competitor, so I was interested to see this match. So I watched the match. It wasn't live. I watched the replay of it, and completely different match. For those again that know jiu-jitsu, know what I'm talking about. Lovato had pulled guard, and Hulk Barbosa was able to open the guard, and he started passing to his right, which was Lovato's left. Okay. Now, just like you're right-handed, if you're right-handed, your left hand is weak. And if you're left-handed, your right hand is normally weaker. There's one side better than the other, okay? Most people that I know don't have like two very dominant sides. One side's more dominant because it is what it is, right? Jiu-jitsu is the same way. In jiu-jitsu, you have one side that's better than the other. I would just refer to it as your black belt side and your white belt side. I have certain things that I like to do that when I go in this direction to the right, it's much stronger than the left. And depending on where I'm at and what position, it could be the opposite. My left side's better than the right side, whatever the case may be. You just gravitate towards the side because it just feels better, feels more natural. And you keep going in that direction because it's easier, right? And so in this match, Hulk Barbosa starts passing to the left, Lovato's left, right? And he really started to put a lot of heavy pressure on him to the point where eventually he passed his guard and had him stuck. And if I remember right, I think he passed his guard twice, but I know, he at least passed it once. Anyways, after that, it was pretty much a one-sided fight. And he actually caught Lovato with an armbar. And I was just like really kind of shocked, kind of amazed at what I was watching, because I'm not used to seeing this individual, Lovato, get beat like that, let alone get submitted. But it happens. It's competition. That's life. Like, that's just the way it works. Like, once you get in there and shake hands, you get in the mat or the ring, whatever, anything happens, man. It's any given Sunday. I know that personally because of how much I compete, right? Like, you have a thing in mind and you're going to you train hard to do this, that, and whatever, and it just doesn't work out that way because it just wasn't your day. So anyways, he loses, and no excuses, really humble with his post and everything, gave credit to his opponent, and that's what you're supposed to do, because you gain respect for people like that when they lose, because they're losing like they win. If he would have won, he would have put out a good post and blah blah. He lost. It was the same kind of post, except for he was on the other end of the loss. So much respect to Lovato on that, because he didn't make excuses, cry and moan about anything. He just owned it and put it out there. It just wasn't his day. And much respect to his opponent, which that's what you should do. So really good stuff. I respect him even more because of that. And in his Facebook post a couple of days later, or maybe it was the next day, whatever. I think it was the next day. But he made a post on his Facebook page, and he was like, back to the match, drilling the weak side for an hour, drilling side control escapes on the weak side, drilling this on the weak side for like an hour. Like, it just got to him. And as a competitor, and if you're a competitor of any sort, you hate losing, you need to fix that, right? You need to fix that. And so, like I said, I can relate to this because at the American Nationals last year, I think it was the American Nationals. Anyways, I had an opponent that I fought. Yeah, it was American Nationals. So I go to American Nationals in Las Vegas, and I fight this opponent. I go out there, shake hands, boom, pull guard, like everything went my way, passes guard, and then submitted this guy, right? Man, it just went so smooth. 2 months later, we're at Master Worlds fighting, and I think it was the second match. I had to fight this guy again, the same guy. Not that I got overly confident, but I felt good going into that fight. I was like, well, just 2 months ago, like, I pretty much dominated this guy. Anyways, same thing that happened to Lovato, happened to me. Like, I made a mistake, and this individual passed to the side that I wasn't all that good at, and he passed. And that's not normal. I've had my guard pass before in competition, but it's not a common thing. And he had me stuck for a minute, And in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this is not my good side. This is not the side I want to be on. I don't recover as well from this side. I wish it was the other side, because I know I would recover better on the other side. That's not how it works, right? Like, I need to get out. Now I'm losing 3-0. Anyways, I somehow get out, create a scramble, hit 2 takedowns, which are 2 points each, and I come back and I win 4-3 before the bell rings. So it worked out all good. But just like you when you win, there's still things to learn. Like, there's a learning experience in that thing. So what I do when I got back to the school, I was drilling my other side. It also happened to me in Brazil a couple of years before that. I was in Sao Paulo at the Brazilian Nationals, and I lost a match because this individual that I was fighting, right before the medal rounds, passed to my weak side. And I thought I had him. I was like, I thought I had the grip, and I didn't. I lost the grip, created a scramble. He got an advantage, and I lost the freaking match. And that's a long plane trip home without any hardware around your neck, So, so when I got back from that, I was just sitting there thinking like I was in the moment. So when I got back from Sao Paulo, I was drilling that side, the weak side. And then when I fought this guy in American Nationals, I felt more confident, because I was like, well, I've been here before. I lost a match like this. Like, this guy is not passing my guard, and he passed. So I have more work to do. Like, there was still some holes there. There's still some gaps on that side that I needed to work on. And, just watching and hearing Lovato's thing just brought all this to the forefront. Then yesterday, I'm training in the morning, training at night. Happened, same thing again. Like I'm good on this side. Like, my confidence level is even better because of Sao Paulo, because American Nationals. I made my adjustments. And then I kind of had the same thing yesterday. I didn't get my guard passed, but I had to abort my guard. I had to let it go, create a scramble, and just get back up to my feet, and then go again, right? And then we ended up in the same position twice with both teammates yesterday, both students. And I got the sweep that I wanted on the weak side, because in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm going to pull guard on that side again, and I'm getting this sweep, because I am not allowing that to continue to happen. This has got to stop. Like, this can't happen over and over and over again. So whenever I get to that side that I'm weak at, all these things, Sao Paulo comes to mind, American Nationals come to mind, the Lovato thing came to mind. I'm like, I'm not going to run for this. I'm going to pull guard back on the same side again so I can fix this and hammer out the details so I can make my adjustments. So this, I have two really strong sides. Maybe one is not strong as the other, but it's strong. It's not going to be like weak because I just run from it all the time, because I've already seen what happens when that's not really on point. So it relates a lot to life. What are you weak at? You got to drill the weak side. You know, what is it that you're running from? What is it that you're scared of? What is it that you're not really working on, but you should work on? You know, I mean, just pick a thing, man. I'm, you know, business owner. Like I got to watch business videos. You know, I study business. I'm in this group. Like I gotta watch things, read things. It takes time to sit here for like an hour, look at my screen and listen and take notes. You know, and on the replays of the meetings. And then I was like, well, you know, where I was talking to a couple of my students yesterday, and I was like, you know, I watch jiu-jitsu videos, you know, Flow Grappling membership, and rewind and go back and watch replays, take notes. I'm like, okay, man, I'm gonna do this, do that, try that when I get back to the school, like whatever. There's like so many things. There's so many things. Like if you're bored and you're just sitting around like not doing anything, man, like shame on you, man. Like there's something that needs to be learned and get better at. There's something that you're weak at, something that needs to be drilled. Maybe not jiu-jitsu wise, but in the same sense, something that you need to be reading or watching or listening to or whatever, so that you can get better at it, so that the next time something comes up, you can handle the situation a lot better, you know? So that's why I like to use jiu-jitsu a lot as a reference. I like the Jocko podcast a lot because they use jiu-jitsu a lot in the podcast as references to life, because there's just so many similarities to the things that happen on the mat, off the mat, off the mat, on the mat. They just go together. And so it's just a constant thing of just like, how can you get bored, man? Like it's just, or how can you get like to a point where you plateau, because you should just be on the never ending quest to just get better. Like there's so many things to get better at. And if you're not, and you're running from something, it's just going to come back and get you even harder the next time. So whatever you're weak at, whatever needs to be drilled, you need to drill it. Like I said, not talking just jiu-jitsu, talking anything. You know what it is. You know what you're scared of and what you run from. You need to face those things, get after them, make them better, so that you have two strong sides, two black belt sides, so to speak, and not one black belt side and one white belt side. There's always something to get better at and improve on. And like I said, it's just something that I saw a couple weeks ago, brought up some other past tournaments of mine. And then yesterday I had 2 rounds like that, one in the morning, one at night. And I was like, man, I got to get this out here, man. You got to drill the weak side. So anyways, you know, be humble in your defeats and show respect to your opponent, whatever it is, life, you know, an individual that beat you. And then just get after it. Make the moves, make the necessary adjustments, take notes, put yourself in bad positions, and then drill the heck out of them, man, so you no longer fear them. Okay, it's good stuff. All right, guys, so I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day. Drill the weak side. We'll see you.